Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome all. Inshallah, we will start to deal with a difficult, not a difficult word, but more than one difficult word, one of which is to seek refuge. We studied some aspect of it, to seek refuge. قل أعوذ in Arabic أعوذ, but the translation seeking refuge with something, especially with God. For example, the Quran says, if you want to read, it means read the Quran. When you start reading the Quran, it means really not reading only, trying to understand, trying to digest the message of the Quran. You should seek refuge with God from the whisperings of Satan. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. It's a big problem. It's a very, very complicated matter. How can I seek refuge with God? Do you think God has a hutch or somewhere so that in a palace or something I can go and please secure me? How do you seek refuge with God? Have you ever thought about it? Every day we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. Of course, we are not going into a regime which is stoned away and chased away. But of course, we have to discuss what Satan represents in the teachings of the Quran. These are very problematic words. We just take it for granted that Satan is Satan. You know, where is it? I never seen Satan. Have you ever seen Satan somewhere? I haven't seen. So maybe my eyes of my heart is blocked. So, but some of you may have a enlightened heart so that they can see Satan here walking around. In the whisperings of Satan in the Quran, the description of Satan in the Quran, there are many, but we are going to study one of them. Satan keeps away. It is a description of the Quran, Quranic description. When there is a time, a position of a person who is not aware of the reality, he approaches, the Quran says. And then when he realizes that he is under the influence of bad thoughts and bad alternatives, and that Satan withdraws. And then when the person loses his attention, he approaches again and starts whispering. I don't take it as a physical thing, you know, practically physical event that's happening. Somebody is coming and approaching me and whispering something into my ears, physically speaking, you know, in terms of this material world or this existence at this. But I don't hear any voice saying that, Ali, you know, you should ignore these kind of things. They are far away from you. You don't know whether you will be resurrected or not. It's not for sure. So try to enjoy your life. I never heard this voice externally explained. It means physically, I don't hear this kind of voices. But on the other hand, it is the reality that anything comes to our mind without, from our side, intending to remember this. It means out of my will, some alternative ideas come. And the Quran uses that this whispering is from Satan. Don't misunderstand. I don't argue the physical existence of Satan in any terms. I don't care whether it is in the form of an electricity or magnetic field or whatever. And gene-like, whatever they mean by gene, these are all problematic words that we have to pay attention to, understand what they really mean. But I take it from the symbolic side of it. Symbolic means some people said that these are just symbols. They may not have a real existence. I don't care about whether they have real existence or not. But as far as my practical life tells me that I don't experience the physical existence of Satan. So it is not my job whether to confirm that they exist in any form, not in a matter form, maybe in, you call it a spiritual form, whatever. I don't care. But it's not my business to confirm that Satan exists really. So what shall I do? By confirming that Satan exists, I don't gain anything. I don't know whether you gain anything, or saying that no such thing. It's a symbolic teaching of the teachings of the Quran. I lose nothing, because the aim of the Quran is to teach me that such a phenomenon exists. That's what I am concerned. Yes. One wisdom, I am guessing, personal guessing, of the Quran, telling that whatever comes to your mind out of your will is not from you. It is from an external being, not whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's an external being. It means don't blame yourself for whatever comes to your mind. It is from somebody else, from something else. It means really giving me a big relaxation that whatever comes to my mind that I don't really approve and confirm, but is an alternative, I am relaxed. Why? Because of the teachings of the Quran saying that it is not from you. If it is not from me, I am not responsible for it. Am I? So it's very relaxing. I feel that at least one wisdom in the teachings of the Quran, that all this unwanted, undesired, unintended whisperings come to our mind is not from you, from somebody else. I appointed that thing, whatever it is, maybe the way I am created, the way my spirit operates, or my spirit means my human side, operates in this way, maybe, but my creator says, I am letting you know that this is not from you, so you are not responsible for it. I said, oh, that's a very good news. What does it mean? If something comes to my mind, of course, my mind works with imagination, because I cannot deny that I imagine things. Or then this imagination takes a shape, a form. You start imagining a kind of scenery symbolizing this thought. Be careful here. Again, imagination is not from you, because it doesn't come from your will as you will it. For example, of course, if you have studied psychology, you know this very well. And I'm not a psychologist, I'm nothing. I am a simple, ordinary man, specialized in nothing. You see that I have no profession, by the way. It is good. So if there is a job to be done, I say, I don't know how to do it, and I'm free. So it's also really, really releasing me from some responsibility. So in psychology, it's a very simple thing, psychology 101. So if I ask you, try not to imagine, it's very simple, whatever, let's say a dog, okay? Not to imagine a dog, okay. The more you try not to imagine dog, you imagine dog. It means it is not out of your free will. It is very simple. If I say, okay, you are free to imagine everything. Yeah, come on, imagine something. You are most likely to imagine a dog. Less. Sorry, most likely not to imagine a dog, something else. But it is such that this phenomenon is such that if you want it, it doesn't come. If you don't want it, it comes. That is the description of the shaitan. It's a description of the Quran, how the Quran describes Satan's approaches. When you try to get out of it, it withdraws and comes again. So it means be relaxed, be comfortable about your imaginations. For example, you prayed Allahu Akbar. It's a very simple example. Again, very common example as well. As you said Allahu Akbar, you say, does it really exist at all? I worship. I don't know. It may be, but may not be. You start questioning. This imagination comes to your mind because we are created in such a way that, as the Quran always says, we created everything in couples. So, belief, what is belief? Opposite of denial, rejection. So, when you say, I confirm that the universe must have a creator, it means the alternative idea accompanies it. There may be no creator. Huh? No, there must be. This process starts with whispering from outside, but that is how we are created. We are open. Our if you like, spirit or the human side is open to alternatives at the same time, but it has whispering from outside accompanied with imagination, and imagination gives it a shape. All this, whatever you imagine now. As soon as you imagine a dog, a shape of a dog comes to your mind. But this is not what you prefer. This is not what you will. This is not what you really confirm. This is something happening out of your free will. All these stages, whispering, imagination, giving a form, and alternative thought starts processing. The thoughts start processing now, developing, until it comes to symbolically teaching. Islamic literature, other literatures also use the same vocabulary, to your heart to confirm it or to reject. Then your will starts interfering. Your will says, can I really confirm this idea that came to my mind? Now it doesn't make sense. Just an idea came to my mind. So I'm not responsible for it because I'm not confirming it. If I confirm it, it means, oh yeah, that I'm sure there is no creator or do something bad. Yeah. For example, I may get angry with somebody, and I may say that I'm going to beat him up. But just the idea came, shall I beat him up? I said, no, it's a trouble. I will find that myself in a trouble. So this idea came to me, but my decision as a result of my free will to reject this idea, not to confirm it. But idea still may be with me. So what is the beauty of this? That this kind of, we call it this kind of things, people keep repeating doing something, avoiding from something because they some sceneries because they remind him something. They say, "No, I am a bad guy. I keep remembering." He says remembering, but in fact, it's not remembering coming to my mind. I keep remembering bad things, yeah, and you blame yourself. That is it. When you start blaming yourself, then you start losing the trust in yourself, although it wasn't your choice. If you confirm something that you are sure about the truth of that thing, you don't blame yourself. Even you confirm that this universe must have a creator. Do you blame yourself? Because you confirmed it. You are happy with it. You want to share your idea with your friends, to somebody else, and you are happy with it. You don't blame yourself. But most the people who are who have some psychological pathology, then they start saying that, look, I don't want to remember this, but it comes to my mind. It means my heart has been spoiled. I'm a bad guy. And then you start losing because you blame yourself. As soon as you blame yourself for something you don't confirm, you have a split personality now. You don't confirm this, but you blame for this because as if you are confirming it. You didn't. Why do you blame yourself? It is not your fault. It is coming from outside. This is the beauty of the Quranic teaching, that all these whisperings come from outside, for which you are not responsible. Now, what is seeking refuge with God? What is seeking refuge with God from whisperings of Satan? For example, when you start praying, you say, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitan." I seek refuge with God from the whisperings of Satan, who's stoned, chased, blamed, whatever, rejected. Okay. Now, with God, what does seeking refuge with God mean? Now, from the whispering, we understood that it's nothing to do with us. We should just relax. Let it come to your mind. Whatever it is, whatever the worst thing may come to your mind. None of my business. It is not mine. It is not me. Now, this is how I am created. Everything has its own opposite. So when I remember something good, definitely bad alternative comes to my mind. That's how I am. But bad alternative comes to my mind. Am I confirming it? No. Then that's not my responsibility. But seeking refuge with God, what does it mean now? A'udhu, qul a'udhu, says, I seek refuge with the Lord of daybreak. So seek refuge. We studied one class. What is I seek refuge with the Lord? Huh? Actually, I seek refuge with from another aspect. That was one class. Now, in this respect, seeking refuge from something with God, what does it mean? Do you have an idea? How do you seek refuge with God? I would like to hear what you think. I thought about it and I read something and come to a conclusion for myself, but this is my personal effort. And if I would like to hear if you have anything, how do you seek refuge with God? No?
Maybe put in your life in
Sorry?
first.
There's a hand over there on the
What
back.
was it? Oh, yeah.
I would say for myself at least, leaving it up to God.
What do you mean by leaving it up to God?
Meaning, the same idea where it's not up to me, where it's up to someone else.
Yeah.
And when I want to do something, I just want to seek refuge with God because that would make more sense to me for like to make a decision, for example. You would just seek it from somewhere else because you don't know what to do.
It's a good start. If you want to, if anyone wants to contribute our dialogue, if you don't mind, can I keep interacting with you? Okay. What do you mean by God? Creates what?
The universe.
Sorry?
The universe.
The universe. Okay. What is it to do with you if the universe is a creator? Why bother? Is it something to do with you?
Yeah, I'm a part of it.
I know, a part of?
I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the universe.
The universe. So, concluded, he is, the creator is the creator of yourself
Myself.
as well. So, he has created the universe is none of my business. Because he created me is my business. Do you understand? So, if he was the creator of everything else apart from me, I wouldn't mind, none of my business. Do you understand? So I have a creator. This is the most fundamental matter for me. I have a creator, which means everything in me is created by
Like something else.
by the creator of the universe as you described it. Eh? Okay. The power of reasoning is created. Power of reasoning by whom? The creator. Okay. Power of imagination. How about Satan?
I mean, maybe we wouldn't have thought of Satan if we weren't told about it.
Oh no, but in your practical life, don't you practice that? For example, if I say there are two laptops on this table,
Yeah.
okay, it means I'm admitting and confirming that there are two laptops. It is not three. It is not one. Or I'm not saying that there are no laptops, right? So let's combine this idea. If I say something which does not exist, for example, if in this case now, in this real case, there are two laptops, but there are not three laptops. Three laptops on the chair, on the table right now does not exist. Correct? So whisperings, in fact, are always non-real things. It means whisperings do not exist. The content of whispering. For example, I thought, look, just a minute, let's complete this. This room, yeah, is a large one. As soon as I said large one, it reminds me my small room, right? Now, as compared to a small room, to this large room, as soon as I say this room is quite large, another thing which doesn't exist comes to my mind. That's the opposite. The best example is this. When I say the universe is a creator, it means the universe has a creator, but some people say that universe doesn't have a creator. That's not true. So for me, universe doesn't have a creator is a baseless idea. For example, God doesn't exist. Yeah? Does it come to your mind that maybe God doesn't exist? But God's not existing is real existent or just imagination, alternative idea. Which one? God's not existing.
Depends on your investigation.
Now, in reality, now there's a pair of glasses here on the chair or on the table, right? Now, if I say there is a pair of glasses on the table, it means, I think the best example is I am telling a lie. Okay, let's put it here somewhere. I am telling a lie, saying that there is a pair of glasses on the table right now. You see, there is no. Okay? What does this sentence contain? True or false? False. Is it? Okay. So, is there in reality, any existent thing that there is a pair of glasses on the table right now? No. Do you understand the question, sir? So, no, there is no such thing. No. Can you say that God is the creator of something which does not exist? It's a tricky method, but we will come to a good point. Do you understand? God creates something which does not exist. Do you think, welcome? I have been waiting for these two guys. Okay, take some chairs and adjust it. Oh. So if someone misses the beginning, so I would like to just here and come on, dude, there is one here. Yes. Okay. Now, because of the methodology we emphatically repeat in this class, when we say the creator, this is a conclusion. What does it mean? It's a simple one. Please, those people who arrived lately, you missed the beginning. We are talking about Satan and seeking refuge with God from the whisperings of Satan. Yeah. So that is something interesting. So if something does not exist, we cannot talk about its creator. So there must be something. As a result, I must argue whether it has a creator or not, the one who created it. Now, so for example, the simple example, there is no broken window in this room. There's somebody there? There's a chair if you want to see. Excuse me, come, Murad. Oh, man. Take this chair and sit there if you want to hide. Okay, so who broke the broken window? Who broke the broken window in this room? What does it mean? There is no broken window. I'm talking about nonsense, isn't it? Yeah. So if there is nothing existing, there is no way for human mind to assign a creator, an actor, a maker for it.
So let's say something doesn't exist, but the concept for it does exist. Right?
Concept.
The concept for it. And just to give you an example, 200 years ago, there was no such thing as a Ferrari, right? Now we have a Ferrari. So back then, you can say that a Ferrari does not exist. Therefore, there's no creator for it. But now we have Ferraris. So as a result, now there is a creator for it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the concept of that is something that hasn't been thought of yet, but inevitably there will be a creator for it.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
So first of all, we will study jealousy. I have a Corolla. So Ferrari makes me feel bad. So give an example
I'm just excited.
of
for any
simple Corolla. So that I will feel, yes, I have one. Now, when there is no Ferrari, we cannot talk about her. But what we talk, for example, a bad car, a good car, whatever, well, this car is this and not that, but always alternative ideas. For example, the glass is not broken, right? The alternative idea comes to our mind, a broken glass. But this broken glass concept is the alternative of the not broken glass, non-broken glass, or not, how to say, good glass without broken, not broken glass. So this alternative idea doesn't exist. So it comes to your mind, but it doesn't exist. Do you understand this? Does it make sense to you? It doesn't exist. If something doesn't exist, you cannot talk about its creator.
How do you find something to exist?
I see. In any form, by definition, you can say materially existing, bodily existing, or you can say in an immaterial way existing. Like, for example, we gave this example: the table exists, but shape of the table is the shape of the table. There is no shape here and the table there. We assign some notions, some qualities to a shape. So the shape is here with the table. So if there was no table, can you talk about the existence of the shape of a table? Of this table, not a table. This table, there is no this table. Now it is what we say this, the existing means not necessarily in the material form. For example, let's say, air exists, everybody knows it. The gravity with the power to pull. Now, we call it existing, but if there was no matter, there would be no power of pulling. Gravity. Do you understand? These concepts are human constructed concepts. They don't exist. So we define, we use these concepts. In fact, the power of, for example, gravity doesn't have an external existence. It is just conceptual thing that we define.
How do you reconcile that with what we discussed before about us existing even when we die and we're not physically available, like we're not in the space anymore?
No.
Because when we discussed that last time, the argument was even though we're not physically there in terms of the matter, it doesn't mean that we don't exist anymore when we die. Or like that was
But this is you experience your human side. We call it human. What makes you a human rather than an animal only? Your feelings, for example, right? They exist because you experience them. For example, you see the effect of them. But if something doesn't exist, you don't have to assign a creator for it. But by definition, whatever you think that exists, yes, imagination exists, right? But the content of imagination which is not existing doesn't need a creator. Do you understand? So you solve the problem. It may not be familiar with the minds of the people who are not ready, who have not thought about it. Now, you solve the problem. We are trying to understand what? Seeking refuge with God. What does it mean? Now, God means the creator of something which exists. That's what we have agreed on with the sister, I don't like this with sister, brother, with friend. There, okay? Do you understand that with the friend there? Well, something must exist. So if I remember the creator, I should assign a created thing as this created thing really needs a creator for me to satisfy that this is created by the one who has given the universe. Right? Now, all the whisperings, all the false ideas, non-real ideas do not exist.
Can I?
Give it? Think about it deeply. Yeah, so many friends are reminding their presence in the world to us. Welcome. Okay. Another one, there was one hand raised there. Yeah.
So is the evil or is Satan in the doubt or is it in the non-existence of this thing that we
Now, doubt is not evil. I love doubting. Oh, doubting is the way to pave into the search, confirmation. If there was no doubting, how can I confirm? Oh, doubt is beautiful. But the whisperings, the ideas, or whatever the imagination comes to imagination. Now, imagination is different from the content of imagination. Yeah. For example, I am imagining, referring to this friend here, I'm driving a Ferrari. I think everybody's looking at me. No one really cares. But I think great. And I go home, a great man with nothing. So it's a false. Yeah, it's a false imagination. Yeah. So this imagination does not exist with the content of imagination. Power to think exists because we are experiencing the power of thinking within ourselves. That's how I define myself as a human being. But the content of power of imagination, which may not exist, may exist. Those which do not exist don't need a creator. So, do you solve the problem here? That's a very beautiful solution for me, practical, beautiful solution for me. How? Seek refuge with the creator. Something came to your mind, which does not have any reality. You are not confirming it. And in your senses, you don't find any room for it. And saying that, yeah, this exists. This is really true. Don't bother, because this doesn't exist. So seek refuge with God. God says, I didn't create such a thing. Don't bother about it. Do you see what I mean? Did you see it? Did you see it? Okay, let's see this one. This man is a troublemaker for me. I love him because he puts me always in trouble, so forces me to think. I love the challenging ideas, but challenging ideas and not challenging stories. Yes.
So I guess earlier you said that which is not created, you cannot assign a creator to.
But that which doesn't exist
That which doesn't exist
is not created.
is not created.
So there is no need for it
assign a
to
creator.
create.
Of course, you're speaking all of this from an individual's perspective,
Yeah.
and based on their awareness, right?
Hmm.
So, for example, I guess how do we define, like, if a question existed in my mind,
Hmm.
right, and therefore had I not made a decision to materialize that question in the sense of like raising a hand,
Hmm.
as far as anyone else's awareness is concerned, that question does not exist. The idea of anyone having a question does not exist unless someone else materializes or acts in a different way. So if I'm materializing my question, now you can say the question exists, but can the same logic not be applied to any other notion, which is, hey, this alternative came to my mind, and I've trouble saying it does not exist because it is still dependent on decisions, investigation, my awareness. I can say in that moment it does not exist because I've not seen it materialized, but the possibility of its existence still remains. Therefore, I cannot say that there is no creator
So
of
you
it.
have to decide, because we are responsible for our decisions and confirmations. If you have not confirmed something, you are not responsible for it.
But
If you could, well, for example, I am an atheist, and I thought the universe is eternal, existing by itself, eternally, but I don't care. But no one can define eternity anyway. But in this universe, there is, you cannot really define eternity. So eternal, and I don't believe in God. So non-existence of God doesn't exist.
I understand the idea that you cannot imagine something which doesn't exist. If you say imagine a laptop that has never been created,
but alternative is this: the lack of something. We will study from the evil, the second verse, but it's too early to go to the second word now. But from the evil, when we study the evil, we will say what is evil. What is evil? Practical terms and also ideological. I mean, reasoning-wise, evil. Now, we will say that we are trying to understand, to seek refuge with God. For example, not for example, the best of this subject is this. It's a little bit subtle because we are not used to it. When you say God, it means He is the creator of something. But what came to your mind does not have existence. So seek refuge with God. God didn't create such a thing. I'm not responsible for it. No. If there is something existing, I am responsible to say that this is created by a creator who is the creator of the universe. But I am responsible to confirm the creator of that thing. But if something doesn't exist, I'm not responsible to confirm anything.
what about the possibility of its existence?
Possibility, you have to confirm it. Can you confirm possibility as real existent, or you have to investigate it?
The possibility, the notion of having the concept of possibility alive is investigation, in my opinion. So
True or false? You see what I mean?
no, you're never, like, before you reach true or false statement, you're in the statement, you're investigating, right? So like we talk about a confirmer or a person who believes in the existence of a creator versus someone who doesn't. But before you get to any of these two destinations, there is that limbo period, there is that investigation period. So how do we define that, right? Like, in that particular period, all possibilities exist. The possibility of a creator exists, the possibility of no creator exists. So
but exist means is an alternative in the content, within the content of your imagination. This alternative there, but this alternative does not necessarily mean that it exists.
of course, depending on my investigation.
Yeah. For example, if I imagine, for example, to harm somebody.
Yeah.
But have I harmed somebody? in real term?
Not yet, but what if you choose? Like that's
Oh,
my
but
argument.
as soon as I choose and apply, that is my responsibility.
It's your responsibility, but now
And because this event has a creator, I will say this is created by God. So seeking refuge with God means seeking refuge with God against the whisperings of Satan means, no, God didn't create this kind of things, so this is not real. Just since God didn't create this, I reject it. I'm not responsible for it. It doesn't exist. Why should I feel guilty about it?
But this doesn't answer his question though, because in his situation, he thought of a question that I haven't thought of. So from his standpoint, the question existed. From my standpoint, the question did not exist.
Yeah.
But but it is still like from what he knows, the question has a creator because it existed in his mind. From what I know, that question has never even been there, so I can't even. But I'm not in a place to say. I think it sounds absolute for me to say that question could not have a creator, and because I cannot confirm whether it existed or not, because it's like I can't go into his mind figuring out how many questions or what question has he thought of. He doesn't deny the existence of this question.
2 weeks ago, we agreed that you promised me something. What was it?
Speak slowly.
Speak slowly. Not that way, so that I can follow you. So people may, but I don't. My language is so great. So I'm guessing what you said. Look, alternative, I'm struggling. But the question is this: what does seeking refuge with God mean? It refers to reality, real existence of it. If you confirm the real existence of it, you are responsible to assign a creator for it. You say, I am the creator, or the universe, the creator of the universe is the creator of this part, this piece in the universe is this. It means seeking refuge with God necessitates something which exists for you. If some imaginations come to, or not imaginations, I'm always having a trouble to make the distinction between the power of imagination is different from the content of imagination. So the power of imagination is real. The content of imagination may be real, may not be real. So when the content of imagination, you have to decide whether it's real or not. Then you say that, look, if it exists, really, now the creator of this conclusion is me, or I don't know, somebody else, or the creator of the universe. But if something does not exist as far as you are concerned, you don't have to seek refuge. So you are not responsible. So by seeking refuge with God, it means, has God created this? If you say, no, I don't agree. For example, I said, I believe in God. I believe in the hereafter. Or, well, God is better. I believe in God. But as soon as I believe in God, any atheistic idea comes to my mind, to my imagination. Now, it is in the content of imagination. You follow? Or am I explaining it somehow which makes sense? So it is in the content of imagination. So people start feeling that, look, bad ideas are coming to my mind. Yeah, some people stop praying because the bad things comes to his mind. Like, I am in the presence of God and I keep thinking bad things. So God said, look, don't worry, seek refuge with me. It means it is not, when you seek refuge with me, it means the Quran also says, when you start reading the Quran, studying the Quran, seek refuge with me, it means never refer anything which doesn't exist to God, because God is the creator of the things which exist.
Why do we need to say that they don't exist for us to seek refuge with God from
As
them?
far as your conclusion is concerned, your confirmation is concerned. For example, I said, look, oh yeah, I see.
I
I
don't need
confirm.
to say that
Sorry?
it doesn't exist for me. It's not a direct conclusion that I don't need it to not exist for me to be able to seek refuge with God from it. Is that needed somehow? Like, why is that necessary?
So when you are trying to be realistic, some alternative ideas come to you. Do you experience this? The alternative ideas? Yeah. So God says, don't worry about them. Seek refuge with me. It means I didn't create them. Don't worry about it. They don't exist. Relieve yourself from the pressure of this imagination, if you like, the content of imagination. So, for example, when you read the Quran, why the Quran says that when you start or begin to read the Quran, study the Quran, understand it, seek refuge with me. What? Be realistic, establish your reasoning on the things that exist. Don't imagine something which doesn't exist. Try to see in its existence in reality, as far as your responsibility is concerned.
Why couldn't God's answer simply be, it's not your fault, I created them, it's not your...
It means that is how it's said. Sorry.
You could still have created them.
Sorry, which created?
My creator could have still created
Look.
those thoughts,
Look.
or those things, they exist, but I still can't seek refuge from them because I'm not responsible for them.
Yeah. So that is the way of teaching. Seek refuge with God means definitely God didn't create something. So don't attribute anything which does not have a existence if you want to understand my word. All reality. So we have to understand this. For example, we discussed this before. Can I attribute something which doesn't exist to God as the creator of that thing which doesn't exist? No. So when you try to understand God, when you try to worship God, it means acknowledge God's authority over you. So you have to come with your confirmations rather than your external ideas, non-real ideas. Of course, we say, what is the shade? Yeah. Does shade exist? Does shade exist? Yeah. Somebody says yes. To me, no. No, why not? Because
absence of light.
Sorry?
The absence of light.
Yeah.
Because there's
So
no light.
absence of light means the light doesn't exist there. I call it shade. Shade. Do you see what I mean? So this is what I say. If I say shade exists and the creator of shade is God, God says, seek refuge with me. I didn't create such a thing. Think about it. Think about it. So you say there is light existing. Yeah. God is not the shade of the heavens and the earth. The Quran says God is the light of the heavens and earth. Is what I mean? Whatever the meaning comes from the heavens and earth, whatever you really deduce an idea from what really exists is the act of creator. Those did not exist are not the act of the creator. Do you understand seeking refuge with God in this term? It must be real. It must be real means, but maybe I forgot your name. Anyway, we don't want people to expose their names. So the friend there, our friend there, maybe it's this is an answer to your question. I am not responsible for something which I don't confirm. Right? That's so simple. Because when I confirm, it means according to my understanding, it exists. Now, I would say, who or what is the creator of that thing, according to me, which exists? So that's my responsibility starts there, right? For example, some people says the universe does not have a creator, right? Don't you see that? Don't you hear that? Some people don't accept the idea of God. Okay, this is their confirmation. Now, they have to assign an agent for this existent universe. What they say, the universe created itself. The universe exists by itself means, what does it mean? Universe exists by itself. What does it mean?
There's no existence of this particular explanation.
So it means universe is the creator of itself.
Mhm.
You understand? Yeah. So if the universe is the creator of itself, now I am assigning the universe as the creator. So God says, seek refuge with it, because universe does not have any quality to give any existence to anything. So seek refuge with, ask for the agent, for the existence of the universe itself. Ask for the agent. So who is the agent of the universe to bring the universe into existence? If you say the universe itself, God is with me. It means, can the universe be the creator of itself? You are a human being. Think about it. Seek refuge with God. It means, so your idea must be so solid that needs to be confirmed. Can you confirm it? Really? I don't think anyone can confirm that, but they play with the word. Anyone can confirm that the universe has the quality to create something, including itself? Is there any sign? Show me. Demonstrate. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's the solution to cope with this kind of ideas come to our mind, which does not have any reality as far as human capacity confirms it. So we are responsible for our capacity. Do you get it? So we have to understand that while, for example, while I am studying the Quran, for example, while I am thinking about the existence of this universe, while I am thinking about my reality, my thinking, whatever my feelings, etc., always look for an agent, for the creator of the thing which must exist. So look whether it is real or not. If it is real, then you assign an agent for it. Who is creating it? If it is not real, don't worry about it. So it is very easy to solve all sorts of different depressions, goes into depressions. Actually, if someone keeps thinking that I am a bad man, or bad thoughts come to our mind. So when you, I'm speaking to this guy, because he's my best friend. So here, so when I see a girl, for example, is a boy, you imagine something really very bad. What shall I do? No, don't look at the girls now like this. I see some people, when a sister comes they call it sister. Sister, the friend comes by and turns, Assalamu alaikum. This way. What? Because some bad thoughts come to my mind. Is it real? Does it really exist? That you did it? You confirmed it? No. Seek refuge with God. It doesn't exist. Do you understand? So if some bad thoughts come to your mind, the solution is this. It doesn't exist. I don't confirm. I am not responsible for it. It is satanic. That's what the Quran says. It is external means. Satanic means it is not you. It is something external to you. That is the meaning of this scenario presented in the Quran, saying that the Satan is there. Look, let's study one verse. Let us see. Oh, would you like to ask?
Just one clarification.
Excuse me.
As far as
Okay.
we spoke about separating the content of
Imagination.
what's in the imagination versus the
power of
thought,
imagination.
power of imagination itself. And you're saying that whatever this idea or the thought or the concept that's external to my own creation, which was almost nothing. So one is everything is external. Second is the origin of that must have the same source. Even if the thought is satanic as how we're defining it, is probably coming from the same source.
Same from?
The creator of any concept or any idea.
Okay, the capacity. Now, I think that is essential for everyone, especially in this age, not in this age, last 2-3 centuries. This rationalism and materialism, naturalism developed and invaded the world. We are all children of really materialist world. We have to accept that. We have gone through secular education, but no one can deny that. So let me make this distinction, if I can make it. If I don't, help me. Come up with a better idea. Now, I have eyes. Okay? Here it is, physically existing. I confirm it. Okay. I have power of sight. What does it mean? The eye, when I die, my eye doesn't see itself. It means I have another quality, which is the power of sight. Uses the eye to result in the action of seeing. So eye exists, power of sight exists as well. Agreed? Agreed? Not because I assign a name for it. I am experiencing it because eye is different from power of sight. Power of sight refers to an element in my human sight. It means, which is called spirit. One element in spirit, in human sight, because I am not animal only. I have feelings, I have reasoning, I have questioning, I have answers, I am satisfied. I have different qualities. Do we have any problem? Because I jumped to another example and make a comparison, which is a problem for me to be solved. I'm not saying I solved it, but we have to make the distinction between human spirit and natural, they call it the laws of nature. Laws of nature. This concept, it has nothing to do with human spirit. Human spirit that we experience, it's real. Although material, I cannot show you my spirit, what I am operating within my own being. For example, the sense of concern, sense of care, sense of worry, sadness, happiness, love, hatred. I'm experiencing it. So spirit, which is called spirit, I don't like the word spirit because it reminds something else, spirituality or something, which I don't think this kind of things, or but it really matters. But what matters is what I confirm as real existence. Yeah. So I confirm that I have body, I have life, and I have some other feelings I am living with. So this is what I confer. Do you agree? Okay. Now, let's come to the laws of nature as people call. What are they? Do they have real existence, or these concepts are only descriptive concepts? For example, water freezes at 32, I think, Fahrenheit, right? Or 0 centigrade, right? In normal conditions, correct? Correct, okay. It means the law of freezing, law of gravity, yeah? Law of lifting of the water, etc. If there was no such event, can I demonstrate the quality within the matter itself to freeze? It's not like my spirit, huh? So this is just nominal. It means human constructed language, natural laws. How I see always, it's very typical example, if I leave something not sustained or supported, if it is heavier than the air, you know, the physical law, but they call it this physical law. It's principles of creation, actually. It drops. Okay? When it drops, they call it, the law of gravity is practicing itself. It means in action. But what is the law of gravity? If something drops, I describe it. Yeah? It always happens. But is there any sign that apart from the matter itself, like my body itself, I have my power of sight, I have my feeling of fear or hope. Now, apart from the matter itself, is there any quality which really pulls? It's a quality. Or is there any quality in water which really changes the liquid into solid? These are descriptive by us. They don't have real existence. So if someone says it dropped because there is a law of gravity, God says, seek refuge with me. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means look whether it really exists or not. So I will be the creator of that existing thing. Be careful, it doesn't exist. Seek refuge with God. Do you want to say something?
So I had a question. So what if you have an impairment that kind of disables you from determining whether something is reality or not, or if you suffer from a kind of depression or mental...
Excuse me, I missed the first word.
Impairment, like disability.
I see impairment.
You can't really tell that. For example, you used a beautiful example that this room could either be a big room or it could be a small room. What if you suffer from some kind of ongoing thing that prevents you from confirming that what isn't a negative force is true.
What it isn't negative, it means real existing. For example, tell me, for example,
But
if
what
someone,
if you can't, what if you, I'm so sorry to interrupt. What if you are ill-equipped kind of mentally to understand that the thing that does exist is the thing that has the agent that's been created that actually exists? What if you suffer from Great Depression and all you see is the opposite thing?
Depression?
Yeah.
Depression is the result of our attitude. In fact, the depression exists as a depression, but what is the cause of depression? Doesn't exist. So those people who are suffering from depression, they have to seek refuge with God, which means it's very simple. It means, does it really exist? Why I am depressed? What I am depressed by doesn't exist. It's not real. So God didn't create such a thing. I'm not responsible for it. Bye bye. Who care about it? The first example we said, let's imagine a dog now. No. Now, let's call mukhlis. Try not to imagine a dog now. Because we did this example.
Cannot imagine it.
So try for 10 seconds. Don't imagine a dog. Come on, 10 seconds. 1, 2. Don't imagine a dog. Be careful not to imagine a dog. So 10 seconds is over. Did you imagine a dog or not during this 10 seconds? You didn't? Really? Sorry? You did, yes. You see, the depression caused by this dealing with the source of the content of imagination as really existing and keeping yourself busy with it. Just seek refuge with it. Say that I'm not responsible for it. For example, I don't know whether you are married or not. Let's say a person is married, okay? But it's a bad example, but whatever it is, it happens. So this married person has a daughter, and when he sees his daughter, he imagines something bad. Let's say going to bed together with her. Do you understand? It's a very bad thing, but it comes to mind. Is it possible not to count that imagination? The Quran said it is satanic. Have you did it? No, you are not responsible. Now the prophetic saying. So it's a very beautiful saying. It is the source of cure for depression of this sub. The depression has many other, how to say, species or not species, well, kinds. But this kind is causing from this imagination and being depressed by it. If a bad idea, what's called prohibited action, comes to your mind, look at the beauty of it. Okay, if you don't do it, you will be rewarded twice. Why? If you didn't do it, okay, you will be rewarded. You didn't do it. But no, if you didn't do something bad, okay, you will be rewarded for not doing a bad thing. It is also a source of reward. Okay. But if something comes to your mind and reject it, I'm not going to do it. So you rejected the bad idea, and you didn't do it, the second reward. So the worst imaginations, not imaginations, the wrong word, scenario comes to your mind and you don't agree with it, and you say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sleep with my daughter, for example. Yeah. Okay. You got double reward. So you are lucky. Don't get worried about it. Don't worry about it, because it is a release for you that, oh, I'm receiving double reward. So all the imaginations come to me, and I will not do it. I will not confirm it. I will be double rewarded. oh, it's better. Because, for example, you normally pray. Oh, let's say you normally pray, okay. And the time entered, prayer time entered, and you prayed. That's the reward. But you got one reward because you did something good. But the bad idea came to you, whisper, satanic whisper came to you. Don't pray this time. You said no. You rejected the bad idea, you got one reward, and you prayed double reward. So those people who are suffering from this kind of uncreated things by seeking refuge with the Creator, which needs a created thing to be the Creator. So let's say it is a false imagination, by the way. It's a contradictory sentence, but God did not create anything. Would you know? Would we be able? But it's an imagination. But we are here, so He created something. But let's say God didn't create anything, and can we know about God at all? Nothing. So that is why we have to be sure that if something doesn't exist, by seeking refuge with God, it means God didn't create such a thing. None of my business. I'm not responsible. It didn't occur. So if I did something wrong, confirm it and did it, then I will be responsible for it. We are trying to understand seeking refuge with God. If any question, we will go to the second. Oh, is it come? Second one? It's here. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Let's study this word. Is it wrong? Okay. No.
Are you going to this?
This one.
Okay.
Can you read this one, please? You are the bad guy of today. Tomorrow I will choose Mukhlis. So okay. Oh, just a minute. Mukhlis, can you read the verse? If you feel comfortable. Do you feel comfortable? So this one? وَمَنْ يَعْشُ.
You can read it.
Okay, if you don't feel comfortable, okay. Your cousin, can you?
I'm gonna have trouble.
You will have a trouble, okay. Will you, please? Okay.
ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين وإنهم ليصدونهم عن السبيل ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون.
مهتدون, huh? So the translation.
I can do that.
Oh, you can do that. All right, look at the brave guy. Oh man, do we have a chair? No. Okay. You are a young man. You can stand up, eh? Okay. So, Mukhlis, come on.
But as for anyone who chooses to remain blind to the remembrance of the Most Gracious, to him we assign an enduring evil impulse to become his other self. Whereupon, behold, these evil impulses bar all such from the path of truth, making them think that they are guided aright.
All right, look at this. What's a great verse. Now, whose major is psychology? No one? Okay, it's not me. I was going to ask some technical words. Sorry, psychology?
He studied advertising. He studied advertising.
Oh, so you have to study psychology of stupid people. Yeah, between us. Don't tell anyone. So you can cheat only those people who are not aware of reality. So you can cheat them. So you know that advertising has an impact on not thinking people. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure. In advertising, you shouldn't be realistic. Yeah. You have to be always imaginative. Got it. So look at it. But as for anyone who chooses to remain blind, the ya'shu an dhikr rahman. It means remain blind must. What does it mean? You understand? Turn blind. It means no. Ignore it. It means. Do you understand? Ignore to the remembrance of most creation. It means we said we are trying to understand how seeking refuge process works. So remembrance of most gracious. Most gracious means Rahman. It means Rahman is another name of God, isn't it? Yeah. So most obvious name. Everybody loves it. I love God as to be Rahman. So merciful, the most merciful. So gracious, merciful. Let's make it God to make the sentence simple. If you ignore God, it means turn blind to remembering God. What does it mean? If you don't really seek refuge with God, it means, are you the creator of this thing? If it doesn't exist, you say, oh, he has not created it. Why should I bother about it? Yeah. But if you don't do this, what happens now? To this person, God says, we assign an enduring evil impact. It means Shaitan. Yeah? It means Satan starts whispering to him now to become his other self. Look at this. He is always with him. Look, you are a bad guy. You always imagine something bad. You always imagine that you believe in God, confirm it, but in fact, you have some doubts, so you don't believe in God. As if you confirm that God, such a thing, never exists. You don't confirm it. That's why if an unbeliever, we have to understand that, if a denier is happy with his conclusion, does he get disturbed with it? Does he get disturbed with it? I am sure, the person says, I am sure there is no God. Whatever the reason he has. So does he say that, oh, why this idea comes to my mind? Only the people who believe in God bothers about denial. The idea comes to his mind, denial idea. Do you understand? It means, as the another hadith says, it's a beautiful hadith again, another hadith says, the people came, the friends of the Prophet came to him and said, oh, the messenger of God, some doubts come to our mind. Look at this literal translation now. Some doubts to our mind. What shall we do with them? You know, we are bothered about it. He said, "Al-waswasatu min al-iman." Doubts, shakes, this kind of shubha, you know, in ripe, so in Arabic, is from iman. What does it mean? This doubt is from iman. It is a sign that you believe. What does it mean? Only through doubts that you are able to confirm the truth. When you confirm the truth, the alternative idea keeps bothering you. That I don't want it. I don't want it. For example, I am a believer. I was an atheist before. Now I'm an believer. I changed that, you know, according to the example. So I am a believer now, right? And I confirm that God exists. And an idea came to my mind that it may not really exist. I said, doubting, isn't it? Doubting. I said, no, it's not possible. So I feel bothered with this doubt. So this doubt forces me to confirm my belief in God. No, it is not possible. But why this doubt keeps coming to my mind? It means I am a bad man? No. Because you are bothered, it means you are, anytime the doubt comes to your mind, you confirm once more. You become a stronger believer. But if you are not careful about it, you may say that, look, it means since this doubt always comes to my mind, it means I am not really sure about the existence of God. It means I am not a real believer. Now despair comes. When the despair comes, you stop confirming it. As the verse says here, the verse says here, we assign an enduring evil impulse. It means Satan. The translation of Satan here, this translator says, evil impulse. Saying that, look, you are not a believer. You are not a believer. If you submit to this imaginary conclusion, you are with the evil impulse. It means what harms you, which is not you really, but you think I am this. I am an unbeliever. This doubt makes you surrender to unbelief, saying that I am an unbeliever, because all this unbelief, doubts about the reality of my belief in God keep coming to my mind. I am an unbeliever. When you say that I am not a good believer at least, you are under the influence of this Satan, which doesn't exist. It is not your reality. Now, to become his other self, that is the result of this hesitant situation, which is called depression. You become a depressive person, saying that I'm a bad man. I cannot confirm really. I'm not a good believer, and my end will be so bad. I will go to hell. All bothering you because you are not that. You are not the unbeliever. You are a believer. That's why you are bothered. If you were really a confirming atheist, you will be happy that I found my answer. So you wouldn't be bothered about it. You will be happy. So now, thereupon behold, this evil impulse bar all such from the path of truth. It means when you really feel that you are a bad person, because bad ideas come to you, because bad doubts come to you, you cannot find the right way anymore. But they say a bad person, they fall into despair. They think that that's my reality. So making them think that they are guided aright, it means, okay, I am in this way only. I am a disbeliever. I always keep questioning, and doubts always come to my mind. So I am a bad person. But the only solution is, is it real? Is it your reality? Is it your reality? If it is your reality, then you are created in such a way. But if it is not your reality, it doesn't exist, don't worry about it. God has not created such a thing at all. It is the solution.
I had a question about content. So when we spoke about the power of imagination, that's in existence. But the content of it, if I can confirm it, then it's real. Otherwise,
For you, it's real.
Mhm,
For you, it's
mhm. Otherwise, it's made up. It's
none
just-
of you are not responsible for it. Free yourself from it. I don't care.
Okay. For something to be real for me, but I think what I'm trying to get at is how do I know that that content is real for me? So I have to
Do you confirm
it for me, but how do I go on about that process is also like an abstract notion. It's not, I mean, it's within my experience, but it's not. How do I confirm that? Or
Which one?
the content to be real for me?
If you are convinced that it's really the truth, the reality,
Mhm.
that's your confirmation. If you say that it's the truth, the
If
reality.
I confirm it, and how does one go on about that confirmation?
Huh?
How does
How does one confirm that the content is real or not?
Myself.
Mm.
No,
How
it
does
is
one
not
go on?
external to you. It is you.
Mhm.
Do you confirm it? Do you confirm it? Are you really happy with this conclusion? Whatever do you conclude, it is your reality. It is created as
So
yours.
that abstract content, I'm saying abstract content, if it's real for me, if I can.
Give me an example for what
So-
you mean by
Sure.
abstract concept.
So right now I'm imagining, that phone. I'm imagining, let me take it in my hand.
I say, still.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
It doesn't belong to you. It came to your mind that, shall I take this phone?
Sure.
Okay,
And-
this happens. Right.
And then if I actually go on and take it in, so
It is
now that's
created
real
now.
for me. The content became
Yeah,
real for
it is
me.
created for you. You did it. It means you confirm it that you should take it,
Mhm,
and you did it.
mhm.
That is your reality. You are created as such.
Okay.
Now, if you didn't take it, but it came to your mind, and if you really think that, why this bad idea comes to my mind? Why this bad idea comes to my mind? Do you think I am inclined to become a thief or some? That is called non-created thing. If you keep busy yourself with this idea, at the end, the evil impulse, the Satan, becomes your second self.
Mhm.
And tells you that you are really inclined to become a thief, so you are a bad person. That is evil.
Okay. I'm more concerned with my question is more geared towards confirming the confirmation process of the content. How does one go on about that confirmation process? And is that just through one's investigation and gathering evidence for oneself?
Yeah.
Whatever I conclude, I confirm it. Yeah, that makes sense. So that makes sense. That makes sense part is my
So
confirmation.
that is your conclusion.
Okay.
If it is not your conclusion, you investigate.
Yeah.
So that is another thing. Those people who are concerned with it, that's another thing. To imagine something bad is not to make it. To imagine denial of God doesn't mean to deny God.
Mhm.
So imagination of denial is not denial. We have to understand this. Imagination of something coming to your mind is not doing it, not confirming it. Just relax yourself from it. You understand?
Yeah.
Relax yourself from it. For example, we will say here, I take refuge with the Lord of daybreak. Right? Now, why do we use the word refuge? Taking refuge with the Lord of daybreak. Daybreak is real. Yes? Anything you assign as daybreak. Daybreak may be real daybreak, the early morning, dawn. So real dawn exists. Yeah. Whoever is creating this real physical dawn position, then he is the creator of this, and I am confirming that. It means I take refuge with, I am confirming the creator of the daybreak, because I confirm that daybreak needs to be created. And there is a creator, I confirm that there is a creator of the daybreak. That is real. But daybreak is a symbolic word at the same time in the Quranic teaching. Daybreak, for example, you are investigating something, you are really trying to find the truth, and the truth comes to you, reaches you. You say, this seems to be the truth. Let me investigate in it. This truth comes to you. For example, the Quran says it is the source of light. Quran is the source of light. Torah is the source of light. The Bible is the source of light, which means that's in the Quranic verses. But I don't have time to refer to the verses. These are what the Quran says. The Bible, the Torah, and the Quran are source of light and guidance. You know, Nuran wa Hudan, etc. is in the verse. So somebody.
Yeah. I understood everything. I was just asking. In psychology, we learn that there's like people who have like an id and an ego. So
yeah.
So the id is like with the animalistic idea is like, oh, I just want to slap this person next to me, or these random thoughts that come into your head. So, do you think that those thoughts aren't yours because they're not from a creator?
They are not created. So I think I understood, but to make sure my interpreter say.
And just correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So in psychology, it is taught that there is id and ego, and id, ID,
subconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
And ego.
Yeah.
And thoughts such as slapping someone next to me is from that id and ego, or is it from the creator? And I guess what he's saying is that it's not from the creator. That's the argument that we're making.
So the idea is that the Quran says it's external to you. But those people who made this, I think the famous psychology, the finder of psychology discipline, we don't mention the names, it starts with F, this person. So it says, because they don't believe in the creator, they assign everything, even imagination, the content of imagination, even something doesn't exist, is coming from your subconsciousness. This is what I meant. Because they don't really look at the matter from the creation point of view, and they don't accept the creator. They accept that the body itself is producing these ideas. For example, thoughts are coming from brain, for example. Imagination comes from your subconsciousness, for example. Not that these things, whether they exist or not, and if they exist, they must have a creator. If they don't exist, it is not from the creator. It is something assigned in the nature of human being. Anything has created has a couple for it. And then, how do you say? A peer for it, opposite. We are thinking, we are able to develop any thought process within two opposing ideas. One is real, the other one doesn't exist. Not real. One is true, the other one is not true. Because, for example, when you say white, what comes to your mind? Opposite. Black. Yeah? When you say God exists, what comes to your mind? May not exist. Yeah? One is real, the other one is not. Of course, the white and black is opposite. That's why I said that the opposite reminds you the opposite. So they both, the color is colors, they exist. But for example, when I say there's a process here, and it means it is then not rich, but it is not real that there is no pair of classes here. The opposite idea comes to your mind. So you reject the opposite idea and confirm what is real for you here. There is. If someone says, no, there is not. There is, you confirm. Yes? There is no. There is, I say. If someone says, no, there is no pair of glasses there, I say, no, there is. Do you see? But there is no pair of glasses. This idea, while there is a glasses, has no existence. It's not true. So the Quran says this is from Satan. It means it doesn't exist. It is your nature that of course, the creator of me knows what he created. He says, look, I have created you with this nature that whatever is real has an opposite, which is not real. So you will make a decision by comparison. If there was no opportunity to make comparison between what is real, what is not real, we cannot develop thought. And we cannot confirm it then what is true. Do you understand? So this is in this way of creation enables me to confirm the truth, to reject the falsehood. But they don't accept secular psychology. This man is a very secular man, materialist man. So everything is rigid in terms of matter. So matter is the source of everything. Matter is the source of everything. For example, if you ask them, who am I? They say you are as you are, your body. They don't accept spirit in you. For example, secular psychologist. You wanted to say something. Did you?
Yeah, I did. So just from understanding the talks, you're saying that the concept of imagination is something that does not exist.
So I missed it because the time attracted my attention.
I missed it too.
So because
So
it is
basically
too
what you're
late.
saying is like the concept of imagination is not a creation.
No, depends. If the content of imagination does not exist, it is external to you. That's our subject. So it doesn't have a real existence. When you seek refuge with God, you realize that God has not created such a thing. You are not responsible for it. That is our subject today.
So, the reason I say that is because I was thinking about it in the capacity of, let's just say, like the image of God, right? So we know that the image of God should be or is the most beautiful thing that we can ever, that is in existence, right?
So if it is not existence, how do you qualify it as beautiful, etc.?
I'm saying if it does, this scenario.
If it does.
Right. So what I'm saying is the concept.
If you confirm that it does, for example, if you really confirm and satisfied with the idea that God has a shape, then it exists for you. It means, but in reality, it doesn't exist. You have to question for yourself that really the creator of the universe, can the creator of the universe have a shape? Creator of the universe, shape is a concept within the universe. So you cannot assign this concept to something which is not within the universe. So when you question it, you will find out that it doesn't have a reality. So it may not be clear today because the concepts are different from what we understood. But what is the beauty of it? We keep saying, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." I seek refuge with God, but we don't know what really we mean. At this we learn today. We don't know what we keep saying this. Okay, for example, if you ask an Arabic-speaking friend, what does "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim" say? You know that. I seek refuge with God from the whisperings of Satan who is rejected. Okay, what do you mean by seeking refuge with God? You will find out. Mostly, and generally speaking. Why? Because we don't really think about the Quranic concepts, what they really mean. Excuse me, officially the building was supposed to, not is anymore, was supposed to close at 8 o'clock, but we have to stop here. Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, next Wednesday, we will discuss the evil, what evil is, especially this one. Not this one. Take it.
The previous one.
Or this one. No. Yeah, I say this one. Evil of what he has created is a very interesting thing. What he has created. Evil of what he has created. What does it mean? It's a very puzzling thing to think about. Okay? Next Wednesday, inshallah. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. آخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.